found the most American neighborhood.
Someone who grew up in Europe, especially in Germany, there's something so cool about American suburbs, and I don't think Americans are realizing that.
Are British people so obsessed with Americans?
I live in America, so I'm going to show you some of my favourite things in my American neighbourhood compared to my UK one. This, no horn blowing, $50 to $100 fine. Never seen that before in the UK. I should say we live in Hoboken, which is in New Jersey, opposite New York. So it's different every town, you know, but this is my favourite things about our town. So people just leave things on like their doorstep for you to come and take, which I think is really cute. In the UK, we don't really leave stuff outside. We just normally take it to the charity shop. So it's quite cute that you guys, you know, support each other. Another one of just stuff left outside to take. You guys are going to think I'm weird, but we don't have this in the UK, like these little pull fins. That's very American to me. So obviously we do have mailboxes, but I can't tell you how many times I thought this is a trash can when it's not. Your mailboxes, that does confuse me. Every single block will have a crossing. In the UK, you've got like 10 miles just to find a crosswalk. I'm sure every Brit that moves to America says this, but these fire hydrants, they are just so American to us. I want to try and open it, I don't know. And is it true in the summer you guys open it so we can like cool off? Because I'm sweating still. I think it's 33 degrees and I ain't used to it. School buses, don't have them in the UK, how cool. American flag just flying high and proud. In the UK, we're not very patriotic compared to you guys, but I do think it's really cool. And in the most corners, like we've got a wrap place, we've got a pizza place down there, we've got a restaurant, and then we've got a coffee shop there. Maybe this is just a Hoboken thing, but I feel like every corner of a block has something fun on it. I can't tell you how bad it's my bank balance.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to the Stranger Things house. Upside down. This is impressive. Look at the Demi Gorgon? It's like legit teeth in there too. Wow. We got the dog. That's crazy. This thing, I don't really know what this is, but this is cool too. Impressive. Very impressive.
I've just found the most American neighborhood. Check this out.
Foreigners often feel like they're on a movie set when exploring American suburbs, marveling at driveway basketball hoops, ubiquitous air conditioning, and spacious streets without parked cars. While places like Fairhope or historically controversial Bayview showcase this cinematic beauty, practical realities dictate the architecture. Americans build with wood over brick to affordably and safely withstand extreme weather.
Tell me that doesn't look American. To an English person, that is so cool.
Someone who grew up in Europe, especially in Germany, there's something so cool about American suburbs, and I don't think Americans are realizing that. For me, this really feels like I'm walking through a movie set. And I know that doesn't make sense for a lot of people who grew up here, but I get so excited every time I see a yellow school bus, or like these long drives away with the basketball hubs, or even like these random sidewalks as I'm walking here right now. So please tell me I'm not the only one.
Okay, this is the America they don't show you on the media. We're in Bayview, right outside Petoskey, and honestly, it feels like stepping into a storybook. Every single house is painted in a different colour, with these perfect porches and gardens. It's literally picture perfect. I also feel like this town was the most flag-happy town I've ever seen. Everyone had multiple, 3 or 4 flags on there, and they also had this special Bayview flag, which is the first time I've seen this in any American neighbourhood where they actually have a flag for their own little town, village, or whatever they call it. Back home in the UK, we do not have any neighbourhoods like this, I can tell you that. So you'd think, looking at this town, oh, these people would be pretentious and stuffy. Oh no, you couldn't be more wrong about that. The people here are incredibly humble, warm, and genuinely kind. It doesn't feel touristy, it feels like a real community. This house looks like Rapunzel's house. I'm obsessed with it, with a little garden, oh my god. Northern Michigan, why is nobody talking about it? And finally, we have clear skies at the Perry Hotel. Who else knows about this neighbourhood? Where else do you recommend that I go and see?
Most American houses in these films look like this, and I'm so...
You're so curious as to why, and if they're similar everywhere? Well, yes, based on this video footage right now, they are. In a purposely built neighborhood in the suburbs, away from the city. Basically where I live, and a lot of Americans. Hey, doing Welsh guy in America here. As you just saw, yes, you are correct. Most houses in purposely built neighborhoods, much like the one I live in, all look very similar. Even the townhouses, which is what I live in, have the single car garage, the little wraparound porch, and are just nice. And I think they're used in movies to kind of give that illusion of maybe the American dream, I don't know, or to make you want to visit and buy a house in America. But don't forget, there's a lot more land here in America than there is back home. And with more land, you get more house, and typically You get more for your money here in America.
This has got to be one of the most American looking neighborhoods I have ever seen. When I was younger and I pictured America in my head, this is exactly what I saw. Huge open roads, beautiful houses, so much space. I would have loved to have grown up somewhere like this, because I don't know if you know, but in the UK, a lot of the neighborhoods are very cramped. The houses are right next to each other. The roads are small. And more often than not, there is no parking. I don't think you'll have any issues parking here at all. Americans, is this a normal neighborhood in America, or have we just stumbled across a really spectacular one? Let me know in the comments. And Americans, if you live in a neighborhood and it looks like this, you should be so grateful. Like, this is absolutely gorgeous. Unreal.
I'm a Brit living in Las Vegas, and these are the biggest culture shocks I've experienced in my neighborhood.
Can someone explain to me why I have to walk all the way down the street to get my mail? It's all put in this little mailbox here, and you have a key for your number.
And one thing I don't remember ever seeing in neighborhoods in England was fire hydrants, but this one here is actually in my front garden. Now, we do live in an HOA neighborhood, which means everybody's front lawns are gorgeous. There's no weeds. You have to have a certain number of plants. Your trees can't be dead. And if you don't abide by the rules, you get fined. But that does mean that the whole street looks really, really nice all the time.
Now, please remember we live in the desert, so not many people have grass, and if they do, it's normally fake.
In our neighborhood, as part of the HOA rules, you're also not allowed to park on the street overnight. If you do, your car can get towed, which means there's never any random cars just parked on the street. And if palm trees count as a culture shock, we have them in abundance.
And baby palm trees.
Now, I do live in a gated community, so there's a gate where you drive in at the front, but then also there's several other gates throughout the neighborhood that are pedestrian, and they go out onto these walking trails. There's also not a single brick house in my entire community. There's also a dog bin and free poo bags just like on the street in here. And this is so cool. We have a pool and a hot tub that anyone that lives here can use. In England, I'm so used to seeing terraced houses or semi-detached, but in this part of our neighborhood, every single house is a detached house, which they call a single family home. And the biggest shock of all is that from our street, you can actually see the Las Vegas Strip.
How cool.
I'm a British guy living in America, recently moved out to the US suburbs, and here are things that I find uniquely American about the US suburbs. Things that you wouldn't find anywhere else in the British suburbs, or maybe anywhere in Britain for that matter at all. Let's have a look. The first is private garbage collectors. Private, yes, you have to pay for the privilege to get your trash picked up in this neighborhood. Basketball nets above pretty much every single garage. Basketball nets in the streets that kids can come out and play one-on-one. Lawn signs about electing people to the Senate. Free stuff on the side of the road. Sometimes people leave some really good furniture and knickknacks that you can just take. Lawn signs advertising mosquito repellent companies and pest controls. Screened in porches, awesome feature. Porches with no screens, awesome feature too. The fan on the porch outside, awesome feature. Feels very Southern American, Louisiana almost. In your face lawn decorations. Hammocks in your front yard. God bless this country.
I've just come across the most American neighborhood. Check this out. Guys, the houses are insane. Look at this house. What? Look at this house over here. Imagine living in that house. It is so beautiful. I'd love to live here in San Marino.
Americans better stay off the road. Aussie girls are here.
You know what?
Wait, yes, Diva.
No, it's fine. It's just GTA in real life, okay?
First time driving on the left.
Yo!
We've been on the road for 5 minutes and we've encountered LA traffic.
It's okay because we're in LA. Get me in and out.
In and out! I don't think I've said that I'm with you yet. Guys, where's Sinead?
What
the fuck? This is sick!
Oh
sun is setting, like, bitch. Wow. First stop had to be In-N-Out, bro.
Shit, are you kidding me?
Go ahead. You got it, babe. You got it. Keep going.
Nervous.
You got this. You're right.
I'm a Brit who lives in America. I live in a HOA neighbourhood, and here are some things that I absolutely love and some things that I don't really like. All the cars parked on the street have to be facing in the direction of the flow of traffic. Don't think this is a HOA thing. I think this is just like a law, like a road law, I guess, and you can get a citation in the mail if you're facing the other way. My neighbour actually received a fine because he parked in the opposite way. I literally love all the American flags on the houses. Hi, Stormy. It's just so peaceful, like every single morning. It's so quiet, and just listen to the birds and crickets. It's so nice. I will forever love the long driveways, but unfortunately we chose a house that doesn't have a long driveway. Little squirrels in the tree eating their nuts. Everybody's grass is supposed to look like this, not that. Your grass does have to be kept at a tidy length, and you can receive a HOA violation if it's not. And I am one of the many people that do not cut their own grass, and we do have a lawn guy because I am not doing that in 100-degree heat every week. But then you do get some people's yards that look like this, and I'm like, how have they gotten away with it for so long? I'm being attacked by bushes and trees. Another American flag, I absolutely love it. And then we have lots of speed limit signs. At the end of every road is a stop sign. And now I don't realise stop signs weren't a thing, well, on the Wirral anyway. My brother told me there's like one stop sign on the entire Wirral, but they are literally at the end of every single road. We have caution children playing sign, well, caution children ahead. Pretty much every house will have a truck. Got some more trucks. And then we have mailboxes. Now most of my mail is electronic, so I don't really use my mailbox much, but nothing gets sent into the house. All of our packages get left on our doorstep, and then all of our letters get put into our mailbox. The thing I don't like about my neighbourhood in particular is the privacy. Not many of the houses have fences. Let me show you. So these houses right here, these are rentals, so these have black fences. But then the people that own houses, they don't have fences unless you buy one to put in, and it has to be one of two colours, white or black. And of course you have to get HOA approval before you install anything. We like how most people's grasses are kept up to standards. It honestly just makes the neighbourhood look so much nicer. We pay $110 a month for our grass guy, and he comes out once a week in the summer and every fortnight in the winter, and he does the cutting, edging, weeding. He gets rid of all the weeds in the backyard, cleans everything up, and he does a pretty good job, so I can't complain because I could not do that. But let me know, would you live in a HOA neighbourhood or would you not live in a HOA neighbourhood? There are many pros and cons, and the list goes on and on.
Today we're going to have a look at the differences between a UK neighbourhood and an American neighbourhood.
So today we're in New York City, Brooklyn, and this is the area that they call Bed-Stuy. So let's have a look, shall we? So straight away we've got these like long kind of stairs going into these buildings. We definitely do not have them in the UK. Also, if you look at all the buildings, they're all like different. They're next to each other, but they look completely different. We have these regular looking houses, and then boom, like something out of Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, and there's just casual chickens right next to the pavement. I gotta say, you Americans know how to do your street art. Look at that. Some more street art. It's a masterpiece. Another thing that's very different is these AC units that hang outside of the windows. I mean, they just don't exist in the UK at all, really. Here you have another one. Is that dangerous?
Do people steal AC units? Because that one seemed like you could just grab it.
Now in America, the go sign is white. In the UK, it's green and red. Interesting difference. Now this is pretty cool. We've got a local YMCA. Can people please tell me, what do you do in the YMCA? What do they do? Another unique thing to America are these like trap doors just casually on the sidewalk. Are they safe to walk on? Okay, and the final thing I've noticed is these like fire escape thingies with the giant ladders. I mean, do these still work? People use these? Because we do not have that in the UK. Only something you'll see in the movies.
So there you have it, some of the differences between an American neighbourhood and a British neighbourhood. Let me know what I should compare next.
I'm a Brit living in America, and these are the biggest culture shocks that I've experienced. So I do live in a HOA neighbourhood as well, which means that everyone has to keep their grass at a certain height and all really neat. So everyone in this entire neighbourhood have got really nicely kept front gardens, which I find in England is not something that most people really do. American flags are very common out here. You'll see them on people's houses or on their mailboxes as well. Now, this is something that you do not see in England. People just do not put up the British flags. Out here in America, the most common house that you'll find is a detached house. Now, this is something that we are not very used to in England. I would say mostly they are townhouses or semi-detached houses. So another thing that you don't really see in England are fire hydrants. Now, fire hydrants are out here, out in the open, right there. You'll often see them throughout the neighbourhood as well. And that's something that I don't think I ever really saw back in the UK. Another one was the size of the roads and the cars out here in America. America is known for everything to be bigger, and those are definitely bigger. They took a bit of getting used to, but we've been here 6 weeks now. So I feel like we're quite comfortable being on the big roads. And if palm trees count as a cultural difference, then that is definitely something that Florida has an abundance of. And I love it. Out here in America, everyone has post boxes, mailboxes that are outside of their house. So there's no letter boxes. The mail comes out here, which actually works great. Because we have dogs, it means that the dogs bark so much less because the postman does not come to your door. Another one is so many houses have these basketball hoops. And this, honestly, it is just like the movies. Just a reminder, we do have brick houses out here in Florida too.
My British husband thinks Americans are the laziest people on the planet, but I just think we like convenience. So I took this man on a full day of errands and we never got out of the car. First we went to the bank and of course we went through the drive-thru. Whoever invented this is an absolute genius and my husband actually agrees. He was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I don't go to the bank often, but when I do, I'm hitting up the drive-thru. Of course we were hungry, so we had to stop at McDonald's because it's the most American thing ever. American McDonald's is so much better than England McDonald's. There are just so many more options here and it obviously just tastes better because there are no food regulations. You can't run errands in America unless you're listening to country music. My husband could not get over how many American flags we passed while driving. Had a bunch of clothes I wanted to donate to Goodwill. Someone usually just comes up to your car window and takes the bags. But my husband was so mortified, he literally went to the trunk and grabbed them to give to the man. All know turning right on red is the best thing to ever happen to America. My husband even agrees it's brilliant. So here we are spotting more American flags. 99% of coffee shops have drive-thrus in America. In England, it's the total opposite. Most of the places you have to go in to get your coffee. And I'm a mom. I just don't have time for that. American flag number 742. We checked out some books for our son from the library, and of course you can go up to a drive-thru and drop them off to return them. The last one, we didn't need to pick up a prescription because we are healthy queens in this family, but if you did, you can just drive up to the pharmacy.
Growing up in the UK, a lot of the time media is feeding to you that the US is an unsafe and dangerous country. I'm British and I now live in the beautiful city of Boston. There are so many tiny things that people do here in the city that are entirely built on trusting one another. In England, when I used to receive a package and I wasn't home, I'd have to specifically go online and tell them where to leave it. Many carriers don't actually allow you to just leave packages outside, give them a safe place to put the packages. Here, people just have their packages delivered and they leave them outside their apartments like this. I'm not going to specifically show you this, but there are brownstones that leave their prams with their bag on it and everything just on the street. They take their babies up. That would never happen. I'm telling you that for a fact. People do not do that where I'm from. First thing I said to Ollie was, are they not worried that someone's going to steal the pram? And it just blows my mind, the trust that people have in other people. Coming from a managed building and now living temporarily in a brownstone, this whole concept originally for me, I was repelling because I was like, what if they steal it? I don't want someone to leave it without me telling them to leave it. Because the idea of having a package just out in full view back home in England, I would have been 100% worried that that would get stolen. And of course, it definitely could get stolen here too. For the most part, this is just how the delivery system works. I think it's again driven by this idea of community that's really strong here. People will be looking out for your packages too, that the media doesn't tell you. You're just hearing about the extremes, and most of the time it's negative extremes. You just paint this whole country of 330 million people with the same brush. You don't hear about the neighbourhoods and how they operate. You don't hear about, at times, you feel a lot safer here than you do when you're living in the UK. And I can hand on heart say that. My credentials are, I've been living here for 3 years. And I'm not just talking about Boston, I'm talking about anywhere that I've travelled in the US so far. Genuinely, one of my main worries moving to the US was safety. So many of the very small, intricate details of your day-to-day living when you live here actually built on trust and trusting the neighbours and trusting the people that you live around. From what I can see, it's working. For the most part, people are good people.
America's crazy because you will have a crosswalk, but no sidewalks. Where am I to cross to? Where do I go? Where do you want me to walk? Where do I go? Then you finally find a sidewalk, and it just ends. Where do you want me to go?
Something you wouldn't see in England, would you, Alex? The way these houses are made. Look at the way they're made, yeah.
Fucking like wooden boxes, aren't they? Like, if you sneezed on it, it'd fall over, wouldn't it? How are they staying up? You can't build them as well as they do at home.
No.
Because you're supposed to keep all heat out, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to keep it in. Like in England, in summer, like, it's unbearable, isn't it? You can't sleep, right? Because the houses have been built so well.
Yeah.
You can stare to them.
We got our second HOA violation after moving into a HOA neighbourhood. As a Brit living in America, we have lived here for almost a year now. We've just purchased our first ever home, and it's in a HOA, the same HOA that we are renting in. And this is the second letter now that we've received since we bought the house 8 weeks ago. The last letter was about our brown grass when we were in a drought and a water shortage. Let's see what the second one's about. Dear Emily and James, the following is brought to our attention or noticed during a routine property inspection. Trash is in capital letters. Trash. If you don't know what a HOA is, by the way, a HOA is basically a neighbourhood that has like a board of people who live here that make sure that the area is kept clean and tidy, that there are plenty of rules that we also need to reread, I think. But this is a very obvious one, which is making sure your trash cans, your garbage bins are not left out and only put out on the night before the bin people arrive. So for us, that is a Thursday night that we would put them out. Action being requested. Action being requested. Store any trash containers, trash bags in closed containers hidden from view until the night prior to scheduled pickup. Now the only thing with this is it doesn't specifically tell you what actually was seen. Like, was it my garbage bin? Was it a bin bag from my yard people who come in on a Monday but my trash isn't collected until Friday and they leave the bag on the side of the road? But then everyone leaves their yard rubbish on the road at any time of the week until it gets picked up on Friday. So there's no specific explanation of what was seen, which probably would have been helpful. Or I left my trash can out too late. But what I've noticed so far, I think, is that maybe the road that we've moved into maybe is a little bit more focused on the HOA's radar, is the only thing I can think.
I'm a Brit in the USA. I've been here for 4 months now, and here's a list of things I had to get used to, driving edition. Now obviously there's the changes you would expect, being on the other side of the road, being on the other side of the car, but I also had to get used to automatic transmission, which I'd never driven before because generally we learn to stick in the UK. I have to say overall I do prefer manual, but there is a huge benefit to automatic. I feel like everyone in the UK has bad knees, and after 4 months of not driving stick, I can promise you that's because of the clutch control. Okay, I'm going to try and be respectful with this one, but the approach to roundabouts just feels like no one knows what they're doing with them. And it would help greatly if you used your indicators. Okay, this next one I still think is nuts. The fact that it can be a green light for you as a driver, but if you're turning left or right, there could still be pedestrians crossing. And it's like a white man for them to cross, and it's a green light for you to drive. How do not more accidents happen? Seriously, how? Parking here is so much easier because the whole country is built to be able to drive around it. There is always parking. There's usually a nice car park, or even if it's street parking, you can just pull right into it. I've had to parallel park maybe 5 times in the 4 months I've been here. So much easier. And last, I was not prepared for just how much the driving skill set might vary from state to state. And I'm pretty sure this is because in some states you have to get a bachelor's degree to get a licence, and in some states you have to spin in a little circle, do a dance and clap your hands. Obviously, good driving is kind of subjective. I'm a London driver, so I have a certain urgency in my style. But I have some very strong opinions on who the best drivers are. And the worst.
You know what? LA doesn't get the credit that she deserves. Like, I fucking
love living here. I could scream that from the top of my fucking lungs.
Right, so I'm an American and I wanted to do a video on things in British neighborhoods that make no sense to Americans. So starting off is terrace houses where there's like a load of houses in a row and they're all connected and you basically share a wall with your neighbor. If you're in one of the middle terraces, you're sharing a wall on both sides, so if you want to hear your neighbors breathe, live in one of these. Next is bins kept at the front of your house, which I get the need to do that with terraced houses, but for detached or semi-detached, why not keep them at the sides so your house looks tidier from the front? And maybe a wreath for decoration. Another thing that I constantly see out front is skips. They're basically dumpsters that you hire and someone comes to pick them up when they're full. They're seriously everywhere. I don't know what we use instead of these in the US, but I've never seen them at people's houses before. I showed my mom a picture of a skip and she literally said they look like the back of a toy truck. Agreed, Mom. Agreed. I have to mention the pavement. Write your councils, people, because this is just insane. It's like Frankenstein's monster of sidewalks over here. But I did come across a cute cat while filming them, so I can't complain too much. And of course, there's plenty to love in British neighborhoods too. The brick homes are really nice, and I love the Tudor-style ones. People are also really into their front gardens, which look so lush. And I've come across so many of these little post box hats. This one's got a little dude sending a letter on it. Hi, little dude.